Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive.
Always.
Today, we're tackling DaVinci Resolve 19. And let me tell you, those manual excerpts you all sent in, whoa, boy.
Yeah, they're, dense.
That's one word for it. So think of this as your cheat sheet, your express lane through the DaVinci Resolve jungle. We're pulling out the must-knows, the cool tricks, all that good stuff to make this powerful software, well, less scary and more something you actually use.
Because it's a powerhouse.
Right. You hear DaVinci Resolve, you think like Hollywood, right?
Yeah, big budget films, but honestly, it's come a long way.
So it's not just for those folks with like dedicated editing teams anymore.
Not at all. The software's gotten way more user-friendly. Even the manual points that out. If you're just starting out, that's where I'd point you.
So even if I've never touched pro-level software, I won't be totally lost.
You'll be fine. Plus, think of the workspace, like customizable, you can move panels, resize them, make it yours.
Like choosing between one of those massive mixing boards or a more streamlined setup.
Exactly. It's about what helps you work best.
Speaking of which, DaVinci Resolve's editing functions, what are some standouts? The stuff that makes people go, whoa, it can do that.
Oh, there are a few. Let's see, a ripple overwrite, for example. Say you need to swap a take, right? Got a better one, happens all the time.
All the time you think you've got it, then bam, a rogue car alarm in the background.
Exactly. In most software, you'd have to make space, move clips, a whole thing. But with ripple overwrite, drop the new take in, it pushes everything down, timing's perfect, no mess.
No more clips suddenly off by a few frames.
Gone.
Yeah.
Like magic. And then there's fit to fill. Sounds simple, but
Deceptively so.
yeah. Clips too long for a gap in your timeline. Don't trim it manually. Just hit fit to fill. Boom, done.
Like auto resizing, but for video.
You got it. Huge time saver, especially on tight deadlines.
Okay, so we've got a rough cut, save some time, now what? Got to make it shine, right? Audio, effects, that's where it gets fun.
Definitely more fun, but can be overwhelming. I get it.
For sure. So in the manual, I see optimize media. What in the world is that?
Sounds technical, but think of it like you wouldn't edit a huge EE movie file directly, right?
My computer would probably burst into flames.
Basically, that's where optimized media comes in. It makes these smaller, easier versions of your clips. We call them proxies.
So like shrinking down a huge photo to share online, same idea.
Exactly. Your computer can handle the editing, no problem. Then when you're ready for the final product, boom, DaVinci switches back to the full quality originals.
Best of both worlds, smooth editing, pro-level quality.
Exactly. And speaking of pro level, audio's huge EE.
Right, because bad audio can ruin even the best video.
100%.
Luckily, DaVinci Resolve has this thing called the Fairlight page.
Amazing.
It's like a full-on recording studio inside your editing software.
Right, from the manual, mixing, mastering, sound design, the works.
All within DaVinci Resolve.
All within DaVinci Resolve.
Incredible. All right, editing audio, check those boxes. Now for the artistic side, color grading.
The fun part.
That's how you go from meh to wow, but it can feel intimidating.
It can be, but DaVinci Resolve actually makes it pretty intuitive once you get the hang of it.
One thing that always trips me up is this node concept. Sounds very technical. What is a node?
Think of it like layers, but for adjustments to your footage. Like imagine a stack of transparent sheets. You can draw or change something on each one, right?
Okay, so instead of this long list of effects, it's like breaking them down.
Exactly. You can rearrange the nodes, add, delete, see how each one impacts your image live. Total control.
Like having an undo button for every tiny change.
Basically. Way more visual, way less confusing.
Makes sense.
Right.
And speaking of visual, DaVinci Resolve has some AI tools too, right? Like that magic mask I keep hearing about.
Oh yeah, lifesaver.
Yeah.
Color grading, you often want to isolate just part of the image.
Like if I just want to brighten someone's face, but not the whole background?
You got it. Before, you'd have to trace around it manually, took forever.
I can imagine.
With Magic Mask, AI does it for you. Tell it what to isolate, boom, mask appears.
A virtual assistant who's amazing at coloring inside the lines.
Exactly. Frees you up to actually be creative.
That's seriously cool. Okay, so interface, editing, audio effects, color grading.
Yeah.
Even if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed right now, totally normal. DaVinci Resolve has a lot going on.
A lot of power.
But one thing I love is how it streamlines your workflow, especially working with others. That's where we'll pick up next time, I think.
Definitely, because what good's all this power if it takes forever to actually get stuff done, right?
Exactly. So next time, we'll tackle those workflow wonders that DaVinci Resolve has to offer.
So talking about streamlining, DaVinci Resolve's remote grades. This feature is huge. Think multiple people, different places, working on the same color grade at the same time.
Hold up. So not just like emailing files back and forth with notes.
Nope, gone are those days. It's like imagine a virtual color grading suite. Everyone's looking at the same image, making tweaks live. No more trying to decipher feedback over email.
Game changer.
Yeah.
Especially these days with remote work. Like trying to play a co-op game through the mail versus, actually being online together.
And speaking of online, the Dropbox replay integration, remember we talked about comments directly on videos?
Yeah, so much better than trying to remember timestamps.
Well, now those replay comments,
Okay.
right in your DaVinci Resolve timeline, synced up perfectly.
Next level. No more app switching, no more lost notes. Everything's just there.
Exactly. And speaking of keeping things organized, media management, that's key, because video projects, they can get messy fast.
Footage, music, sound effects. It's like a digital black hole sometimes.
DaVinci Resolve's got you. Create bins like folders on your computer, BUT, here's the kicker, metadata tags.
So like keywords to make everything searchable.
You got it. Tag a clip with outdoor shot, close up, whatever you need, then bam, find it instantly.
No more scrubbing through hours of footage looking for that one perfect take.
Precisely. And it gets even cooler. DaVinci Resolve has AI that can analyze your footage and tag stuff automatically. Faces, objects, even the mood of a scene.
Okay, now that's just showing off. It's like having a digital assistant pre-organize your entire video library.
Right. All these features, the remote grades, Dropbox replay, the media management, they all add up to this really smooth workflow.
It's like DaVinci Resolve looked at all the annoying parts of editing and said, nope, we fixed it. But it's more than that, right? It's not just faster. It's freeing you up to be more creative.
100%. When you're not fighting the software, you can actually experiment, Try new things, push those creative boundaries.
Totally. And speaking of pushing boundaries, something else DaVinci Resolve does surprisingly well. Multicam editing.
It's a beast at it. Music videos, concerts, even documentaries with multiple cameras, DaVinci Resolve makes it a breeze.
To be clear, we're talking multiple cameras capturing the same event,
Yeah.
not just different angles cut together later, right?
Exactly. You've got all those angles synced up, switch between them live in the timeline, like having a live TV control room on your computer.
So you can create those fast-paced dynamic edits in real time.
Absolutely. And while we're on the topic of live, did you know DaVinci Resolve can be used for live video production too?
Wait, really? I thought it was strictly post-production.
It does both. Resolve Live, they call it. Switching cameras, color grading, effects, all happening live, even recording the final output.
So I could theoretically direct a live stream or even a small TV show using DaVinci Resolve.
You absolutely could. It's incredibly versatile.
Mind blown. Right, we've covered a lot of tea, and it's clear DaVinci Resolve, it lives up to the hype. But I gotta say, for someone just starting out, it can seem like a lot to learn, right?
Oh, for sure. There's a ton in there, even with the friendlier interface. That's where those manuals come in, though. Dense as they are, there's gold in those pages.
Manuals are our friends, got it. But some of us learn best by, doing.
You're covered. The DaVinci Resolve community is massive, super helpful too. Forums, tutorials, groups, you name it, someone's got your back.
So I get stuck. Chances are someone else has been there, figured it out already.
Exactly. And they're usually happy to share what they've learned. Really supportive bunch.
That's awesome. Like a global network of editing buddies.
I like that. And remember how we were saying keyboard shortcuts are a game changer? Well, DaVinci Resolve, you can customize those too.
Yeah.
So if you're used to a different program, a certain layout, no problem, map them over.
Smart. It's like DaVinci saying, hey, we're not just making good software, we're making it your software.
Exactly. Work how you work best. That's the idea.
Okay, before we wrap up, got to address the elephant in the room, right? We've been praising DaVinci Resolve, all this power, all these features, and it's free. Like, actually free.
It is, the free version. It's incredibly capable. Edit, color grade, effects, even those 3D videos we talked about, you can do it all.
Okay, so what's the catch? There's got to be a paid version.
There is. DaVinci Resolve Studio. It unlocks the really high-end stuff, like advanced noise reduction, some crazy good motion blur, and the ability for multiple users to work on the same project at the same time.
Okay, so pro-level features for, well, pro-level work. But for someone starting out, just dipping their toes in, the free version's more than enough.
Absolutely. And that's what's so great. DaVinci Resolve, it's for everyone. Doesn't matter your budget, your experience. Download it, start playing, see what you can do.
You don't even need to put in your credit card info. It's wild. Well, I think we've done it, folks. Deep dive into DaVinci Resolve complete. From the interface to editing, audio, color, effects, even 3D and live production, this software is like the Swiss Army knife of editing tools.
And luckily, you don't need a manual the size of a dictionary to figure it out.
Exactly. Hopefully, we've cleared up some of those key concepts, shown you some of the cool stuff hiding in those manuals, and most importantly, got you excited to try DaVinci Resolve out for yourselves.
Because at the end of the day, the best way to learn is to just jump in and do it, right?
Right. So to everyone listening, go download that free version, play around, experiment, see what you can create. And remember that community we were talking about. They're out there, ready to help.
Every step of the way.
This has been awesome. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into DaVinci Resolve 19. Hopefully you learned a thing or two, feeling inspired, and most of all, ready to unleash that creativity. Until next time, happy editing, everyone.